Welcome back to the Love Fix, guys. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 worst expat tips or pieces of advice I've ever heard in my time doing this on YouTube. So hang around. Number 5 is a little bit of a doozy. I think you may be a little bit surprised. But before we get into that, welcome back to the Love Fix. As always, it's Nick doing my best to get you through your breakups as easily and as healthily as possible with compassion but no BS. If today's video is not enough for you, which I really hope it is, you can join my free Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, type in the Love Fix Breakup Recovery and join the wonderful community there. If that's not enough for you and you're really struggling with your personal breakup situation right now and you just need a voice in the dark and some bespoke advice, you can reach out to me at thelovefix20@gmail.com for a one-to-one coaching session, and I will do my best to get you through this. Okay, with all that said, let's get straight into tip number 1, or bad tip number 1, the 30-day no contact rule. This rule is utterly asinine, and before I became better educated about breakups, relationships, dating in general, I thought this advice was good advice because, like, hey, give them a month, let the anxiety build and, they maybe want to get back with you. But guys, 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work. And the entire 30-day no contact rule is based on the premise of that's when the fading effect bias will kick in. And that's when they start to remember the good times, and that's when they start to remember stop to forget how bad things were. And so they're more primed and more into receiving your texts and calls and all that bullshit that goes on with it. Guys, doesn't work. And also, the intention is wrong. No contact isn't to get your ex back. I've said this so many times, it's to get you back. It's a period of time where you have no contact with your ex to get you back, for you to level up. They have to come to you, not the other way around. Number 2 on the worst tip I've ever heard, a handwritten letter. I'm looking at you, Love Advice TV. You guys preach no contact, but then you tell your clients to make a handwritten letter. I don't even know where to begin with that one. It just contradicts no contact. On one hand, you're saying, right, okay, no contact, but send them a handwritten letter and tell them how sorry you are and how much thinking you've been doing. How is that going to work? How is that going to change anybody's mind? What you are trying to do there, you are trying to out-logic someone's feelings. You are contacting someone who does not want to be contacted, and the method is relevant. The fact is, you're still contacting them. So a handwritten letter isn't going to really do anything. Okay, let's just play devil's advocate and let's say it does spark some anxiety or some interest in your ex. That's going to work like 5% of the time. Okay, you may catch them on a good day, or rather a bad day where they're feeling particularly emotionally drained and down and they just miss you. You may catch them on that. But guys, if a surgeon told you, hey, you've only got a 5% chance of surviving this surgery, are you really going to take the risk? I doubt most of you will. So handwritten letters, hell no. No contact. It's for you. Number 3 actually comes from what I've heard from people that are going through a breakup, and they would typically say something like this: I will never give up on them. I will wait as long as it takes to get them back. This is really terrible advice. It's a terrible mindset, because the thing is, guys, your willingness or your lack of willingness to give up will actually work against you, because you are clinging onto something that isn't there. And this ties into hope. This ties into closure. The fact is, they've given you the closure from day one. They said, hey, I don't want to be with you. That is not code for try harder to get them back. That is not code to hold on and not do anything with your life. Because here's the thing. If you wait around, if you sit there holding your breath until they come back, and let's say they do come back, what are they going to find when they come back? They will probably find the miserable wreck that they dumped because you've sat there waiting around doing nothing. So this is why it's much better, and you're much better served to say, okay, this sucks, I don't want this, but okay, I will respect that decision. But while you're off doing that, I'm going to go and work on myself. I'm not waiting around. I'm going to find new adventures. I'm going to find new avenues of entertainment, and I'm going to find new people. But most of all, I will find myself. So guys, you should give up from day one. You should give up. And that is to say, give up on them ever possibly reaching out. Don't give up on yourself. Stop giving them your energy. Give that energy to yourself. That relationship's dead. Work on you. If they do come back, let them come back to a much better, improved, leveled up version of you, because you are much more likely to get a reconciliation that way. Number 4 of some of the worst advice I've ever heard is never, ever, ever, ever breaking no contact. Guys, now, I preach no contact. I've just said you should do no contact. And I also say that no contact is for you. But there are times when you can break no contact. And these are those times. If they reach out to you, if they reach out and say, hey, how are you? You simply respond to their level. Hey, I'm good. How are you? And they may come back with something. Yeah, been really busy. Things have been crazy. I've missed you. Let's talk. And your response could be something like this. Again, just matching their level. Hey, it's been busy here as well. I've missed you too. Let's grab a coffee. The other reason to break no contact, and by the way, guys, they should be reaching out to you 90% of the time. But the other reason is settling bills, setting up arrangements for your kids, setting the house that you shared. This is smart contact. This is business only. So actually stay in no contact 100% of the time, no matter the circumstance, can actually work against you here. So there are times if they reach out and they say, hey, let's grab a coffee, and you're inclined and you're in a good place and you want to go and grab that coffee and you want to see what they're up to and what they want to talk about, match their level. Go with an open mind. Do not go with any attachment to an outcome. Stay on your center. Listen to understand, not to respond. And number 5, and this one you may find counterintuitive and you may find surprising. The worst tip I've heard is make sure you take 100% responsibility for the breakup. Now, this is wrong for many reasons, but let me just put a disclaimer in first. You should be taking responsibility for stuff that you got wrong, whatever that might be. Yes, absolutely, own your shit. But here's the thing. Outside of cheating or anything like that, abuse, any kind of abuse, it took 2 of you to get together, and it took 2 of you to break up. Now, typically speaking, actually not typically speaking, always one of you will initiate the breakup. And it spins me out when people say it was mutual. It's never a mutual breakup. Never is. Whoever initiated the conversation is the dumper, typically speaking. Okay, so if you take 100% of the responsibility, and let's just say that your ex gave you a verbal storm of all the things that they don't like about you and all the things that they said you got wrong, and you're like, I'm sorry, I beg you, come back, I will change everything. That's never going to work, because all you are doing, you are simply completely validating everything that they say. Now, there is a time and a place to validate their concerns. Hey, I hear you, and if that was me, I'd be frustrated as well, and I'd be sad as well, and I can see why you felt angry. But there is a time, maybe not at the breakup conversation, but further down the line, if a reconciliation is happening, say, hey, look, I've been away working on myself. I've leveled up. What have you been doing in these last 3 to 6 months? Have you improved? Have you worked on the things that I have concerns about? Because there were a lot of times you were violating my boundaries, and when I tried to tell you about these boundaries, you never listened to me, and I've had time to think about it, and I don't want to go back to that. That is operating from a position of confidence, strength, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and letting that person know that you love yourself above all else. And that, my friends, is what is attractive. Is not submitting and taking full responsibility. Take full responsibility for your 50%, but they've got to take responsibility for their 50% as well. And that's the thing. And I've been in this situation before with exes where they've piled it all onto me, and I've even done it when I was younger as a dumper, just because, you know, we don't like taking criticism and we don't like taking feedback, and we want to be right all the time. And it comes up all of the time in my coaching calls with you guys, where the dumpees are being blamed for absolute everything. There's blame on both sides. So own your shit, but also keep your exes and your partners accountable. That's okay. That's what's sexy. That's what attracts people. It's the rough edges. It's not everything's perfect. Okay, that about does it for today. I hope you found this helpful and enjoyable, and I would really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, hit subscribe, because only 30% of you are subscribers. 70% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. So help out a small channel, and also let's help out everybody else that needs this information. Hitting like, hitting subscribe pushes this out much further beyond the general scope of what I typically get. So help me out, help yourself out, help your fellow dumpies out. As always, guys, you are enough. I will see you on the other side.